All right, so good morning. Welcome to the practice over here.
Nice to see you.
I understand you're here for tinnitus. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, clue us in. What kind of symptoms are you actually noticing with tinnitus?
So I have sort of a deep buzz, more on the left side, and then I occasionally have popping in both ears, so it goes pop, 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 but that's just like kind of occasional. And then I occasionally have pressure and or pain that's sort of like inner ear, and it's like I can feel it now. It's like just like an inner pressure or pain that's like in both ears. And the buzzing is sort of constant.
Gotcha. So buzzing with the popping noises. Do you have any fluid in the ears? Have you noticed that?
I don't think that I have fluid.
Okay. It's interesting you notice about the popping noises. You mentioned you visited the ENT and they confirmed it was the left cochlea is inflamed.
That's what the audiologists mentioned to me, yes.
Okay, understood. And also, did they inspect it and check your eustachian tubes?
Yeah, they said there was slight inflammation with the eustachian tube visually when they looked in with the light into my ear.
With the otoscope, okay. All right. Now the reason why I mentioned it because the popping noises you're mentioning about, it sounds like your eustachian tubes are like trying to like open and close.
Yes, I agree.
And that's why I'm also wondering about the fluid in the ears as well. So it's not fully closed off, so that's a good sign.
Okay.
But either way, the popping noises is basically the tube is constantly being open, close. So that tells me okay, we may have some potential problem with that trigeminal nerve region as well. So we're gonna get those nerve functioning working well to the soft palate. Okay, we'll connect all dots in a bit. Okay, so we got that issue with the buzzing. Okay, and also the interesting history. You also mentioned about what happened at a right elbow.
So the radial head cracked off the tip, and then I had ulnar nerve pain that was running down all the way to my wrist, and then I got cubital tunnel. So this was inflamed here, and then it was impacting. I was getting tingles and couldn't feel my pinky because of so the nerves were all sort of impacted on this side.
I just want to be very clear, okay? The radial head's over here, and the olecranon's over here. So which one you said had the damage over here or here? Do you recall?
I don't remember exactly where the radial head cracked.
Okay. Because if it's a radial head that's cracked, it's over here. This is the radial head right now.
I see.
The olecranon's right here. That's the one that's sticking out the most right here.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
All right, so we'll take a look, see what's going on with that.
Okay.
Right? So we're starting with visualization. Right? So when the structure gets damaged, what it does is it initiates a defense mechanism trying to stabilize and protect the joint itself. So there's going to be some swelling, edema is what we're looking for. There's also going to be muscle tightness because if something gets knocked out of alignment like this, the muscles in the head trying to bring it back in alignment. So therefore, my expectation is this side's going to be tight, this side's going to be loose. So we look something similar to that on your spine. In addition to, I'm also going to challenge some areas of the spine. We're going to see if they move or not. Normal should move, and things that are knocked out of alignment will not move as well as they should. In addition to, because of more vascular supply is being introduced to the damaged area where your body's trying to repair itself, it's going to give up more heat, and we're going to use an instrument also to confirm that increased heat in that level. Right. Taking a look at your spine over here, actually, I'm already seeing some inflammation. That's what all these red spots here on the left-hand side. It's also very swollen up here. It's also very swollen and muscle tightness on the left-hand side. Also a bit on the right-hand side. Tracing down. And we're looking for that pinning edema. And you got something right here. So I'm going to mark that level. Keep on looking all the straight down. See, you have a nice valley over here. That's just smooth. And when we start getting over here, see, there's like a speed bump right there. So something is swollen right here at this level.
Okay.
Tracing down below, there's a lot of edema pulling down below here.
Okay.
And we also have a lot of swelling over here as well. And just confirm real quick on the film, you got a potential, we got a confirm on that. We're gonna use this instrument right here. We're gonna scan your spine. We're gonna locate for any potentials. See, we have an abnormal heat reading going over to the right. And that correlates with the swelling we found. See, we have a little reading over here. It's a very subtle, small little reading you have. Might be chronic. And there you have it. Yeah, it's a bit chronic, so I'll read it right there. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm comparing and overlaying data I'm seeing on the X-ray to you. Feel the difference right here? The right side, it moves.
Yes.
The left side, it does not. It's completely jammed and stuck.
I see that.
Okay, that's fine. Now we're checking the biomechanical integrity of your spine. See, that ain't moving at all right there. Feel that huge knot right there?
I feel that, yeah.
See, it's not as big on the right-hand side, but it's still in trouble. See, right there, that fifth cervical, that's not moving at all.
Yeah.
It's like a brick wall. Pain right there?
It's not comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like sore.
That's what it is. Okay. All right, so now let's start connecting some dots. Okay, so in terms of the tinnitus, where is that, that buzzing noise coming from? In addition to what's going on with also the eustachian tubes popping and so on and so forth. So as I alluded to earlier, we talked about, says, okay, the soft palate, it's not working as well. Well, what are we talking about? Well, we have a nerve that's called the trigeminal nerve.
Right.
Okay. That's what it innervates. It does sensory and motor functions over there. It also innervates the top part of your mouth. All the way inside, that's the soft palate. Now, the eustachian tubes, it drains from the ear, it traces all the way down, and you can actually see in the mirror, if you lift up your lid, there's a small little hole right here, small little hole over here, okay? And the inside of our upper lip, okay, that's a eustachian tube where it drains out.
Oh, right.
Okay? So therefore, when the soft palate, okay, if it's not innervated correctly, it collapses. So it collapses right into a eustachian tube, and therefore it does not allow drainage to happen at all. Now, what you've been mentioning so far on your history, saying like it says, oh, it pops, but there's no fluid buildup. So that tells me, it says, okay. And you also mentioned about there's some inflammation there. So it tells me, no, the pathway is still working, it's still draining, just not as well as it should.
Right.
Okay. So either A, we got the soft palate, it's a little bit weak, not as strong as it should be, or B, there is something inflamed inside there that's also, as a spill over, also affecting your eustachian tube as well. Okay, so we just gotta figure out which one's which. There is no way for me to really tell, precisely, so it's hard to say. What we can do is, okay, let's focus on what we could do for you here, which is the neurological aspect. And that's in regards to, okay, the trigeminal nerve itself. There are some sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve pathways. Okay, and it's on the lower part of your cervical neck. Now, this region over here involves with the trigeminal nerve, and also with the facial nerve, and also vestibulocochlear nerve. All that in this lower region of the neck over here. Now, because of the inner ear, it's like this, okay, we have this nerve over here. Part of it is the vestibular, the other one's cochlear. So cochlear means hearing.
Yes.
Okay, so if this is nerves being irritated, all right, because we have these cilias over here, okay, if it's going like crazy, then that's what's causing that buzzing noise or the hissing noise or sometimes the whooshing noise. But at the same time, as I mentioned before, we also there's a eustachian tube. You gotta like drain all this fluid out. So as I mentioned before, if something's being inflamed, it could irritate that, and that could explain why you're having that pop, pop, pop noise itself. Now, this region over here, trigeminal nerve, okay, we already confirmed part of it on you during examination, and I'm going to touch base on that on the x-ray. You do have a problem right there, that fifth cervical, that deals with trigeminal nerve, vestibulocochlear, and facial, the whole entire shebang. So, yeah, let's get right to the x-rays.
Okay, super.
Okay, now let's start piecing everything together. Okay, so this is why it's important to do the history and do the examination, and we try to correlate all the objective data we have gathered so far. So we're trying to say, okay, you got ring in the ears, okay, it's buzzing, and also the popping noises. Okay, we also examine you, showing that yes, clearly there's something inflamed on the lower part of the neck. Now, seeing on this X-ray over here, all right, it should be nice and smooth. However, this fifth cervical over there, what I'm seeing is that it has went backwards like this, and also tilted backwards, collapsing that tunnel, irritating that nerve. Looking on the AP view over here, all these spinal processes are pretty much straight. Number 5 over there went way off to the right. Addition 2, your atlas is also very anterior on the right. So addressing that fellow over there will help recenter your atlas over here, help drain even more things out. All right. So we got that aspect over there. But how do we actually keep this in place? It's one thing to adjust this and realign that. The bigger long-term play, what we want is, how can we keep it from trying to coming back in the first place? In other words, what's the Honda Dam effect?
Yeah.
So when I trace it, so instead of looking down and says, okay, we're looking at a lake that's all polluted. No, I want to go up the mountain, look at the source, what caused the Honda contamination in the first place. So when we start to look, tracing all straight down, okay, I see a potential right there. But tracing out even more, okay, we got a foundation problem because this is your left side. We're looking things from the back. Your Honda pelvis, everything is sinking down this way. In addition to, there's this line over here. It should be smack in the middle, but it went all the way off to the left, and this is taller. Okay, so what it means in a three-dimensional plane is that your pelvis went this way, that way. So how well can you walk this way? That's going to be very tough. Okay? Your head has to be centered and level like this. So your body is literally going to rotate, twist, compensate this way. It says, oh, that does not fix anything. I'll get to this way, that way. So that's what we see in the zigzag over here. So you saw one to the right, the left, the right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So this is what started the whole entire shebang over here. So we need to address this one over here. Very good chance I may need to adjust this one over here, and that fifth cervical is a must. Okay. Here's a piece. There it is. Okay, come on up.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, walk around.
Okay. Where am I walking?
Anywhere.
Okay.
Lady's choice.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me, do you feel anything different?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like more stable.
Do you notice anything different in your hearing right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's like slightly quieter.
How much quieter would you say?
I would say, well, this morning it was particularly loud when I was in bed. It was like a 7, and now it's like a 3, something like that.
Okay, quite a bit.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, your body was really twisted around. So we had to take that twist off and take a lot of that tension off.
Okay.
Okay, let's get the rest of it.
Okay.
Neck shoulders, just on shoulder. There's one. Again, left shoulders. There's that clunker.
Okay.
Come on up.
Was that the 5th?
That was the fifth cervical, right?
Yeah. That was pretty intense.
Oh, it certainly was. It's very badly misaligned. Okay, now try your hearing.
Well, I can move my neck a little. That was very intense.
I know.
Okay, so, oh, it's actually better.
How much better would you say?
Like a 1 maybe, or like.
So from a 7 down to a 3 to a 1.
Yeah, I would say it's a 1.
How do you like that?
I can like barely hear it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
How's the popping? Do you hear any popping?
No, no popping.
No popping at all?
No.
Pretty slick, huh?
Yes, 0 popping, yeah. Thank
How you loving it?
Loving it.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So we got an extra bonus for you.
Yes.
So you mentioned earlier, you got the cubital tunnel syndrome.
Right.
Okay. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. So The big news I could tell you is that I don't see any red flags. I don't see any fractures in there.
Okay.
And you healed up pretty decently. It looks like you had a very old radial head fracture over there.
Yes.
Okay, because it is tilted slightly this way.
Yeah.
And I see an old remnant of that over there. And there's also this increased joint space over here. So let's take a look, see what's going on over here. Okay, so there's quite a bit of swelling. How's this? Tender right here?
Tender, definitely tender.
What about right here?
Yes, very, very tender.
Which one's worse? Over here or over here?
Honestly, they're both tender.
So the other thing, let's check.
Okay.
You see, this is stable going this way.
Yep.
So you want to challenge it this way? It's loosey-goosey.
Yeah, it's like very unstable.
Yeah. See this over here? Stable. A little bit loose there. But this, no, it's just way too loose.
Way too loose, yeah.
So, how's that? Tender?
Tender, yeah.
What about this?
Tender, yep.
Which one's worse? This one here or this one right here?
The other one.
The first one?
Yes.
This one?
Yeah, the first one, I think.
Or the second one?
Let me see, do the first one?
First? Yeah, it looks like your radial head's misaligned.
Yep. They're very similar in terms of the pain. That's like very painful.
Also, I just need to, no, you have okay, you have an EX radial head. Okay. So first things first, we're gonna pump all the fluid out of the way.
Okay.
Because even though the radial head healed up decently, okay, it's just very slightly misaligned and healed in the misaligned position. No, because of that misalignment, it's just irritating the joint capsule.
Yeah, constantly.
Exactly, and because of the edema in the fluid,
Yes.
that's what's causing the cubital tunnel to collapse and irritating the ulnar nerve, and that's why you feel the pain
All the way
straight
down.
down here and affecting your pinky finger.
Right,
as well.
exactly.
So we're gonna, first things first, before I set this, we're gonna pump some of the fluid out of the way.
Okay.
So I can set this radial head. Okay, and then we're gonna set it.
Because we could see the swelling on the other.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Gonna set.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Just like that.
All right.
Okay.
Well done.
All right, go ahead. Move that elbow around so you like it.
Okay. Well, I can move it now better.
Yeah, compared to before, how's it?
I can move it more easily.
How's the pinky finger?
No issues. Yeah. I mean, I was having sort of numbness right here.
And how's it now?
Not numb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check the wrist itself.
Okay.
See if there's any potential problems.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Radius and ulnar are moving fine.
Okay.
Lunate is slightly misaligned. Okay, let's set this lunate. There it is.
Okay.
Okay, your thumb's out.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Capitate's out. Okay, set this bone right here. There's that fella.
Okay.
Pisiform slightly out.
Okay.
This is going to be a little bit tricky. Hold on a second. No. There it goes. Okay, move a little better.
Okay.
Hamate. Okay, your hamate's slightly stuck. Okay, hold on a second here. Okay, a little more. Let it go. There it is.
Okay.
Good. Okay, now try it.
Okay.
See how I like the wrist.
Yeah, it's more fluid. Yeah.
How's the pinky finger now?
No numbness over here. Yeah. Okay, impressive.
Oh, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's all it takes.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dr. Sue.
You're welcome.
Okay.